This week on his radio show, Howard Stern defended wokeism, saying it's a compliment when someone calls him woke. Listen.
If woke means I can't get behind Trump, which is what I think it means, or that I support people who want to be transgender, or I'm for the vaccine, well, dude, call me woke as you want. I'm not for stupidity, but I am woke, motherfucker, and I love it.
Oh dear, he swore. He swore that'll win over the woke. He's a regular Huey Newton of the Hamptons.
Well, I know some of them, and like Howard, I was on Howard Stern's show as much as anybody, and
yeah.
he was great at that time, and then he went woke.
Yeah.
And since he's gone woke...
Howard Stern didn't just change, he abandoned everything he once stood for. Greg Gutfeld and Donald Trump both took notice and didn't hold back. Stern, once the fearless, boundary-pushing provocateur, now plays it safe, trading controversy. For acceptance, Gutfeld mocks the transformation with biting humor, while Trump calls it out bluntly. Together, they turn Stern's dramatic shift into a punchline. This isn't a comeback, it's a comedy sketch.
It's weird because he criticizes Trump for dividing the country, and then he says he hates his supporters, so he's not learning from his own analysis. I think he might have turned into the thing he hated. He needs to go back and watch the movie Private Parts and focus on how he portrayed Don Imus, because he's kind of turned into Don Imus in a way. It's a mix of evil.
Howard Stern, he's a weak guy. He's weak. He's going, what about, It was so ridiculous. Even she was embarrassed. It was like...
Stern slams Trump for dividing the country, yet turns around and says he hates Trump's supporters, an irony that undermines his own point. It feels like Stern has morphed into the very type of person he used to rip apart on air. Gutfeld jokes that Stern should rewatch Private Parts, the film about Stern's raw, unfiltered rise, because now he's become a strange mix of ego and bitterness, more like someone he used to mock than the rebel he once was.
Stern can call snacking with celebs at a fancy restaurant exhausting. Exhausting. Like he finished the overnight shift in a coal mine, or hearing Kat talk about her pets.
Fair.
But I get it, life is tough, especially when you've been cut off from the world for 2 years in a $20 million beach house. I mean, you have no idea how tiring it is walking all the way from the wine cellar to the tennis court and back.
Stern, once proud of being a rebellious voice, now seems hesitant to speak his mind. It's jarring to see someone who built a career challenging the establishment now act like he belongs to it. He used to be loud, unapologetic, and different. Now he echoes the mainstream narrative, carefully tiptoeing to avoid offending anyone.
The opposite of woke to me is asleep, and I think I'm awake. This must have gotten Trump all charged up, because at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, technically Sunday morning, he starts tweeting out, Howard Stern is a broken loser, jerk off, not loyal, the usual, tirade. And I thought to myself, I'll tell you my thought on it was, what
Gutfeld says Stern doesn't need critics, he just needs a mirror. The man he is today is a far cry from who he used to be. Trump doesn't hold back either, but he's not even angry, just baffled. The once wild, unapologetic Howard Stern now comes off as cautious and afraid, a shadow of his former self.
Stern hit a chic restaurant in NYC with a crew of A-listers, including Jimmy Kimmel, Jennifer Aniston, Jon Hamm, Justin Theroux, Jason Bateman. I was not invited. I guess because my first name doesn't begin with the letter.
Stern used to be the guy who pushed every boundary and made celebrities squirm. Now, he's cautious, polished, and about as edgy as a daytime talk show. The shock factor is gone, replaced by a need for approval and a desperate effort to fit in.
I know him very well. I was on his show many times. I used to think he was good, then I dropped him. and I dropped him like a dog. And his ratings are very challenged.
Gutfeld highlights the irony. Stern used to mock celebrities now. He socializes with them. He once targeted the rich and out of touch, but now he's become one of them. The fearless attitude is gone, replaced by a clear fear of being canceled, and it shows.
Over that wall over there.
Well, he's half right. We do need a wall. You know, to keep out gang members, fentanyl dealers, human traffickers, and Anna Navarro. What's funny, though, is that Stern actually thought that was a compliment. Stern has become such a wussified sycophant, he doesn't realize that telling Kamala that he'd vote for a wall is telling her that he knows she's as dumb.
The old Howard Stern. Didn't care what anyone thought, he dared people to come after him. Now, he practically apologizes before he speaks. Trump compares him to a lion that's lost its roar. Gutfeld goes further, saying Stern's not just being fake, he's become boring. And in media, that's worse than being dishonest. Stern once broke every rule in the book. Now he's afraid to even bend the smallest one.
Dad, I find that his definition of wokeism is very simplistic. I mean, it's like, it's not about COVID jabs.
I didn't get that either. He was like, I love the vaccine. I'm woke.
It's not unlike Howard Stern. I mean, talk about a transition. On Tuesday, he conducted an interview with Kamala Harris that was so simpering and feminine, I got my period while listening.
Gutfeld jokes that Stern's show now feels like it's run by corporate HR. The once electric interviews are now dull, over-edited, and sanitized. Trump doesn't even have to insult him. Pointing out who Stern surrounds himself with says it all. The guy who used to challenge celebrities now just nods along, agreeing with everything they say.
When I watch them on Saturday Night Live with the where they have Maya Rudolph playing you, I hate it. I don't want you being made fun of.
Oh my God.
There's too much at stake. I believe the entire future of this country right now. I mean, as America, land of the free, home of the brave, I think it's literally on the line.
So a guy who's supposed to be funny for a living now claims her candidacy is too important to joke about. This is a guy who once joked right after the Columbine massacre that the killers should have raped the students before killing them. Not that I like.
Stern still sees himself as a rebel, but he's not. It's like someone throwing on a leather jacket, hoping it'll make them look cool-even, though no one's buying it. Gutfeld points out the irony. Stern once ruled uncensored radio. Now he won't say a word without checking for approval. Trump doesn't take him seriously anymore, and neither does his old audience. They didn't just drift away, they realized he's no longer the same person they once tuned in for.
Incredibly brave to take this stance after you've made $300 million not being woke, right? Loving Donald Trump, exploiting the mentally ill, wearing blackface. Look at the crop of woke comics, whether it's Stern or Jimmy Kimmel, his BFF, Sarah Silverman, Joy Behar, Michael Ian Black. What do they all have in common? They wore blackface. And then they went woke. It's not a chicken or egg thing there. You know what order it came. So I call this BFR, it's blackface reparations. There's nothing in Stern's previous career that could withstand this modern witch hunt that he...
Gutfeld says the saddest part isn't that Stern changed it, that he gave up what made him great. He used to challenge everything and speak without fear. Now, he plays it safe, echoing whatever's comfortable. Surrounded by people who nod along, Stern tries to stay relevant by blending in. Trump doesn't see him as a threat, just a joke. The bold, fearless Howard is long gone. What's left is someone who second-guesses every word before he says it.